In this video, we'll be looking at the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel, which is one of the 5 best backpacking towels that I review on this channel. This is a comparison video between the small Matador NanoDry Trek Towel and the large shower towel. For the full review of the large shower towel, I will link to that at the end of this video and in the description below. Let's get right into it. So, what do you get when you buy a Matador NanoDry Trek Towel? You get a silicone storage pouch and a Trek Towel. I paid full price for both towels. The Matador NanoDry Trek Towel cost me about $17 US, while the shower towel cost me $35 US. Here are my personal measurements of the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel. Length 15 inches or 38 cm. Width 14.75 inches or 38 cm. Weight of towel 16 grams or 0.56 ounces. Weight of storage pouch 17 grams or 0.6 ounces. Packed size 2.5 by 1.75 by 1.25 or 6 by 4 by 3 cm. Material nanofiber. Blend 85% polyester and 15% polyamide, which is nylon, and it's made in China. Here's a table comparing the specs of the small Trek towel and the large shower towel. You can pause the video here to take a closer look. Both the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel and the shower towel have snap loops for hanging the towel anywhere. For additional convenience, both are machine washable and can be tumbled dry. The storage pouches of both the Trek and shower towels have an almost identical design. They are both made of silicone and both have ventilation on one side. The only difference is that the Trek towel has this stainless steel keyring, while the shower towel has an anodized aluminum carabiner instead. The small Matador NanoDry Trek Towel absorbs about 40 ml or 1.4 fluid ounces of water, while the large shower towel absorbs 150 ml or 5.1 fluid ounces of water. After dividing the amount of water absorbed by the weight of the towel, the Trek towel has an absorbency ratio of 2.5 times, while the shower towel has a ratio of 2.2 times. I'm not sure why there's a difference in the ratios when the material is the same, but at least the difference isn't too big. After soaking both towels, I also wringed them out. The Matador NanoDry Trek Towel had 38% of water left after wringing, while the shower towel had 43% of water left after wringing. I guess there's a slight difference because the Trek Towel is smaller and easier to wring out. After wringing, when left outdoors, the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel took about 13 minutes to dry, while the shower towel took 14 minutes to dry. When left indoors, the Trek Towel took about 1 hour and 30 minutes to dry, while the shower towel took 1 hour and 45 minutes to dry. The Trek Towel probably took a shorter time to dry because it has a little less water after wringing. For this next drying test, I added 15 ml or 0.5 fluid ounces of water to each towel. When left outdoors, the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel took 13 minutes to dry, while the shower towel took less than 10 minutes to dry. When left indoors, the Trek Towel took 1 hour and 30 minutes to dry, while the shower towel took less than an hour to dry. The shower towel dried much faster because it has a much larger surface area. Both the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel and the shower towel have antimicrobial coatings and are great at odor resistance. I dried off with each towel after a shower and sealed both of them in separate plastic bags for 4 days, and neither developed any smell. I dragged both the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel and the shower towel along some grass, stepped on them, and checked to see what they picked up. Both of them picked up nothing at all and were still clean. The Matador NanoDry Trek Towel weighed 16 grams, or 0.56 ounces, while the shower towel weighs 68 grams, or 2.4 ounces. Here's what the Trek Towel looks like beside the shower towel from the side, and also from the top. And here's what the Trek Towel looks like inside its storage pouch from the side, and also from the top. When I hang the Trek Towel and the shower towel from my pack, neither drag on the ground. And here's what both storage pouches look like when I hang them on my pack as well. To fold the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel, half it 4 times like this, roll it up, and then put it back into the storage pouch. You can also just stuff it back in without folding, but it's a tight fit. Both the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel and the shower towel are made of the same nanofiber material. Both of them feel quite soft against the skin, both have the same thickness, and both feel quite sticky against the skin, so do pat instead of wipe. The only difference in comfort is the sizing, as the Trek Towel is much smaller than the shower towel. As for quality of stitching, material, hanging loop, and storage pouch, I did not notice any differences between the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel and the shower towel. I did buy different colors though. I bought the charcoal color for the Matador NanoDry Trek Towel and the rust color for the shower towel. I felt that the charcoal color stained slightly less than the rust color, but both still bled quite a bit, so I recommend washing your NanoDry towels a few times before using them, no matter what color you buy. So, what are the main differences between the small Matador NanoDry Trek Towel and the large shower towel? The main differences are in the full dimensions of the towels, the packed size of the towels, the towel weight, how much water the towels can absorb, and also the price. Other than these, I did not really notice any obvious differences in terms of packaging, features, drying time, odor resistance, dirt repellence, quality, or anything else. As the names suggest, Matador recommends the small NanoDry Trek Towel as a hand or face towel for hiking and trekking, and the large shower towel for, well, showering. But if you need to cut ounces, you could use the small Trek Towel as a shower towel, as long as you don't mind wringing it out a few times while you're drying off. I'm 5'3" with slightly longer than shoulder hair length, and I've used the Trek Towel after my showers. I need to wring it out once or at most twice while drying off. Personally, I'm not a big fan of wringing the towel out while trying to dry off, so I would pick the large NanoDry shower towel for showering, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, apart from these differences that I showed you, the small Matador NanoDry Trek Towel is as high quality and feature-rich as the large shower towel. I think the Trek Towel is a great high-quality pick for a hand, face, or even shower towel for anyone looking to cut as much weight as possible. I actually featured the Trek Towel in my 5 best backpacking towels video, which you can find here, or for the full review of the large shower towel, you can click here instead. Or you can visit my website if you prefer reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.